Attention viewer, you are watching the world's biggest monster truck diecast YouTube channel. This is Monster Jam OCD.
Hello Monster Jam fans, and welcome back to another Monster Jam OC review video. Today we are taking a look at the doubles packs for Spin Master Monster Jam Earth vs. Surf. This is series 1 of 2, and this set has Gravedigger in it. Everyone's always excited to see what the Gravedigger scheme is going to be, and we did get to see it on the poster, and finally we're going to get to see it on video. But for the first pack, here it is, El Toro Loco versus Megalodon, and Megalodon looks really cool. We'll take a good look at that one. And then of course, like I mentioned, here it is, as I call it, the Wave Digger, and then of course against the Earth, Whiplash or W. So we're going to start today's review with that first pack, so we can come to Gravedigger at the end. Here is El Toro Loco versus Megalodon, and we're going to unbox it right now. All right, so here they are, the Earth El Toro Loco and the Surf Megalodon. So here is El Toro Loco. El Toro Loco honestly could have been a lot better. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. It is yellow El Toro Loco, which probably could have been swapped for maybe a brown scheme or a black El Toro Loco. Honestly, this is not the most exciting scheme. This looks a lot like normal yellow El Toro Loco, I'll just say that. However, I do love the translucent yellow horns. That's a big plus here. So they have a translucent color for the horns with the orange tips. And then we have, for the actual scheme, instead of flames, it is a magma rock bed with a volcanic eruption happening. So you can see the magma just kind of flying out as the flame pattern instead of the actual flames, with the El Toro Loco logo, which should have probably been modified to a black color or something else to make it stand out better over the yellow background. It's kind of washed out by the back, but there's El Toro Loco. And then we have the teeth. And of course, like I mentioned in Series 1 singles, we have a splatter effect with earth all over the place with brown paint as the actual idea there. So there's that. And then there is magma coming out of the nostrils. It's basically the same flame pattern, just modified a little bit with the nose ring and the chin hairs. And this side, same stuff going on with the magma and the magma rock on the tailgate. The El Toro Loco logo again in yellow, red taillights, and monsterjam.com. And as I mentioned in Series 1 review of the singles, we have an orange roll cage charcoal chassis, translucent orange tires, and translucent yellow rims, with, of course, those being the Earth tires. So El Toro Loco, definitely my least favorite so far of the entire Earth series. It's just not super different than the original yellow El Toro Loco, but I like the idea of having the magma, and I think it's actually a little different than this side. So there's that for the left side panel. It's a little different. And now we have an awesome looking surf truck. This is the Megalodon, and Megalodon has the blue eyeball, which is a real life feature of the truck now. It has an LED light in both eyes, so it's blue. So they finally added that to the truck. So there's that. It has the classic face with the teeth, the gums, and of course the fin on the side with starfish and seaweed on there. That's pretty cool. And it has a shimmering effect like the water. If you're looking at it from above the water instead of inside the water, it has this shimmering effect going on as if you're looking at the shark from above the water. I like that idea a lot. It looks really cool. And then on this side here, we have another starfish with some fish actually right there, 2 fish swimming across it, and the starfish on this side as well. And that shimmering effect again occurring on the top of the truck if you're looking into the water. And if you look from the side, you see the side profile as if you're in the water. So I really like how they went super dimensional with this truck. It has a clear baby blue roll cage with a turquoise clear chassis, the surf or water tires, and blue rims. So there is the Megalodon, and now we're on to the second and final double pack of this review, which has the Wave Digger and the W from Team Earth. So let's unbox it. All right, so here they are, the Earth edition of W or Whiplash, and of course the water or surf edition of Gravedigger. So we'll come back to Gravedigger. There's a lot to talk about with that. We're going to start with W or Whiplash. I really like this truck. A lot of people said it doesn't deserve to be in the series, but I honestly think it looks really well done. I love the earthy tone they gave it for the actual paint scheme. It's kind of a clay color. And then we have a lot of cool orange details. So all of the pinstriping and leather is in yellow, orange, and black. We have the Earth logo there with Monster Jam, the W logo in black and orange with yellow highlights. And like I mentioned, all the pinstriping is in yellow around the truck, as well as orange on the hood and the front grille. The headlights and the front grille are glowing in orange and yellow. I love that idea there. The leather on the hood here is now black and gray with the W in the middle, and the roof there, of course, W in black, yellow, and orange with the pinstriping around it. It, of course, also has that splatter paint effect on the entire truck and the matte clear coat to make it stand out better. and there's the tailgate there with the black leather and orange pinstriping. Same chassis as all Earth trucks have had, and that looks really cool. And then we have the big all-star of the case, or this set. It is the Gravedigger, also called the Wavedigger, and it is the underwater edition of the Gravedigger body. So they always do an amazing job with Gravedigger. It's always something new every year, fresh and exciting. And honestly, this is really cool. So they basically made the entire scheme underwater, so you don't see any fog, and they changed up how they actually laid out the scheme. So I'll kind of walk you guys through it from what I can see here. We have a crab holding on to a tombstone. We have the haunted house in the far background, and something sticking out of the sand here. I can't tell what that white pole is, but there's that. And then we have the Dennis Anderson tombstone, a treasure chest, a tombstone which I cannot read. There is writing on there, but I cannot read what it says. I hope one day we get the rendering of this so we can actually read what that said. But for now, it's a mystery what that tombstone says. We have a nice rocky background for the bottom of the seabed, and then a pirate ship, which is actually sunken right there in the background, of course. Gravedigger does fly the Jolly Roger, which is the pirate flag, so that's why the pirate ship is there in the background. There's a few more tombstones up there. One is Moss Jam, and I can't tell if Spin Master has a tombstone or not. I can't see what this tombstone is, but it's definitely a different tombstone layout than normal Gravediggers. And honestly, I don't know if I love that, because it does take away from the continuity of all the Gravediggers so far. I feel like they could have included a few more tombstones just to make the scheme a little bit more to continuity. But anyway, the scheme has changed up a bit here. The Gravedigger logo is in blue and white like we had with the Galaxy, which I'll be showing you guys in just a moment. And in the background, we have a nice white and light blue Gravedigger ghost, as if it's an actual wave. So it has that nice wave color to it with very, very dimly lit red eyeballs. So there's that for the Gravedigger Ghost Mountain. And then the flames here, this is where I kind of disagree with how they did it. Son of Digger from the series had an awesome idea, which was the seaweed as the flames, as you can see right there. They should have definitely done seaweed as the flames for this Gravedigger. I think that would have made it look much better. It looks like they've recycled the ice edition of the Gravedigger's flames for this truck, so that's a little disappointing for Gravedigger. I really held this one to a high standard. I was hoping it was going to be a really dimensional looking Gravedigger, but it kind of just turned out to be a standard scheme, just a little different than normal. So the Gravedigger flames are very similar to the ice Gravedigger, light blue and white, with the stripe also being the same color, and then the same for the roof. The roof also has the blue Gravedigger logo and Grim with Bad to the Bone. The base color of the truck, however, is awesome. I love the bright, almost turquoise color for the paint scheme with the sparkly effect. The red headlights look great, and of course the chassis looks awesome as well. But of all the Gravedigger schemes so far, and there have been some awesome ones, this is definitely, sadly, not my favorite. I was hoping this one was going to be super, super out of the park when I first heard it was going to be on the list, but it didn't meet my expectations fully, but it's not terrible. It still lives up to the actual Walmart thematic series, but honestly, there have been some amazing Gravedigger schemes. And of course, we start with the first one being Fire Gravedigger, which became a real-life truck. It is super, super awesome to see this again. I don't really often look at this truck anymore because it's so old now, but I remember seeing this in real life twice, All-Star Challenge and World Finals 20, and this never fails to impress me in the detail that they put into it. Of course, this was done by the designer Neil Vandenberg, who no longer works with Moss Jam, but he was amazing, and it shows through his artwork. He also did this Ice Gravedigger right here, which I'll actually compare the flames. So I guess the flames are a little different. The ice flames were more pronounced as ice. These are more of a wave style, I guess, now that I see it. So I won't be as harsh with it. I guess they are waves if you look at it closer and compare them. But I think the seaweed still would have looked much better like Son of a Digger. So here is Ice Gravedigger, also a real life truck that competed at All-Star Challenge. An amazing scheme in itself. So detailed. And then we had the Zombie Gravedigger, another incredibly detailed scheme with the Angry Ghost Mountain. We had the blood flames in different shapes, you can see there, with Zombie Grim and Zombie Gravedigger's logo. And then the most recent, and actually still my favorite, the Galaxy Gravedigger. It had this awesome black to blue gradient ghost with the stars in the eyes, with the haunted house looking over the Earth instead of the moon. Since we are looking at the Earth from the moon, in this case, we have the Earth in the background with the white tombstones. And I think just looking at it in general continuity, like I mentioned earlier, you can see the graveyard is always the same on each Walmart thematic series, no matter what the scheme is. And then this Gravedigger comes in, and we have the tombstone there. We have 4 tombstones here, but we don't have the rest of the graveyard. It's missing, and it's very different to the rest of them. And that's not a bad thing per se. I just think it takes away from the actual scheme itself fitting in with the rest of them. I think it's still crazy cool that we got it nonetheless. I think that Son of a Digger had a better idea as the regular scheme underwater, even though it wasn't overly detailed with a bunch of different things. But Gravedigger, or Wavedigger, whatever you choose to call it, is still really cool. So there is Gravedigger from Team Surf, the water edition of Gravedigger, the 5th edition of a thematic Gravedigger. And I just can't wait until next year for whatever theme it's going to be to see Gravedigger yet again. I am always excited for it no matter what, and I think that they'll do an amazing job. Regardless of whatever theme it's going to be in, it still looks crazy awesome. So there it is. That is the end of Series 1's review of double packs for Spin Master Model Jam Earth vs. Surf. I will be back in a few months with Series 2 of the Earth vs. Surf series for singles and doubles. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this series, specifically the Gravedigger and El Toro Loco, since they were kind of the ones that were a little more questionable by my opinion. But of course, that's up to you guys, what you guys think, so I want to see them in the comments. I'll see you guys next time. This is Reiner Monstrum OCD, signing out.